Hi, I'm Mark Anthony, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to successfully work on yourself and also how to use Theta Healing in your day-to-day life. Theta Healing for me is a way of life. I use it every single day. I do healings on myself every day. And with practice, what happens is you'll find that those healings will be really quick and really easy. So, when I first started out, I would do a healing and it would probably take me half an hour or an hour to complete that healing on myself. Now I find that I'm able to do things in a few minutes, and it's actually really simple. But the key things that you need to understand is don't go looking for issues to heal. There are always going to be situations in your day-to-day life where things are going to come up and it's going to affect you in some way. It's going to diminish you a little bit, or it's going to make you feel an emotion that is not ideal, whether it's anger, whether it's disappointment, whether it's frustration. They're the sorts of things that you want to be using this tool for. So in your day-to-day life, what happens? What are the things that trigger you the most? What are the things that affect you in a negative way? They're the things that you want to be working on. So if you're interacting with people and all of a sudden you're feeling really good and now you're feeling disappointed, or now you're feeling like things maybe aren't happening for you the way they should be, what is it that triggered that? Go into the feelings. Is it something that is yours? Is it something that you've taken on from another person? And all you got to do is just muscle test yourself. So let's say it's frustration that you're feeling. I would muscle test myself. This frustration is mine. And if it's yes, then what you got to do is dig on it. When was the first time I felt this way? Where do I feel it in my body? When was the first time I felt this way? Go back to the first memory that you have of that feeling, and that gives you your starting point. So maybe when you were 7 years old, something happened, you were kicking a ball and you couldn't get the ball to go into the goal, for example. Maybe that's the trigger, and that's your starting point. So what was the worst thing about that for you? And you're just using those questions. What's the worst thing about that for me? What's the worst thing that can happen to me? What, why, when? Those sorts of questions. All you're doing is going through and getting down to the bottom of that issue. What's really holding that issue in place? The other thing that's really important is that, if it is somebody else's that you've taken on, so you muscle test this frustration is mine and it's a no, then muscle test the people that you were just with. This frustration is from person A. This frustration is from person B. And identify whose frustration it was. And then to release yourself from that frustration, it's really simple. All you need to do is command for the Creator to change the belief that you are carrying that person's frustration, or you have to take on that person's frustration. But what's really important is that you need to dig on it. Why would you take on that person's frustration in the first place? That's the aspect of it that's really important. So you go into it, okay, what is it about that person that I feel like I need to take on their frustration? What is the issue there? And what you do is you go through and you dig on that and you get to the bottom of it, and then look at the benefits. What is the benefit of me taking on that person's frustration? And maybe it's because you ultimately like to keep the peace. You like to keep everybody happy. You want everybody feeling good. And so what you're going to do is identify the benefits and download that you can have the benefits without having to take those issues on from other people. So once you've identified the issue, you've dug down to the bottom of it, all you need to do is remember 4 key things. There are a lot of different commands that we use in Theta Healing, but the 4 most important ones are, firstly, changing the belief. And the command for changing the belief is, Creator, it is requested to change the belief of whatever the belief is in myself, resolve it on a history level, cancel on the other levels, and replace it with whatever belief you want to replace it with, or if you're not sure, just Creator's perfect replacement. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. And then you're going to teach yourself how to live without those negative beliefs. And then you're going to teach yourself the positive feelings. So with the positives, all you do is you identify the opposites of those beliefs that you went through in that digging process. And what you do is you download the positives, the opposite of those feelings. And so then what you're doing is you're teaching creator's perspective and definition. Now, creator's perspective we only use for positives. That is really important. So you're only downloading positives for creator's perspective, because with creator's perspective, you're asking to experience whatever it is that you're downloading. So for example, if we are downloading creator's perspective on love, then we're asking to experience love from the creator's perspective. So that's why it's really important that we only use that for positives. The other thing that's really important when you're downloading creator's perspective is that you download that your perspective on love, for example, is the same as the creator's perspective on love. That's a really important thing, because you can have creator's perspective, but you may not believe that, or your perspective may not be the same as the creator's. And that's where you can actually do the majority of the healing and not get the full benefits of it, because your perspective is not the same as the creator's. Even though you have creator's perspective, you got to make sure that yours is the same. So they're the key things that you want to remember. So you want to download, or you want to change the beliefs. Then you want to download that you're teaching how to live without the negative beliefs. And then you're downloading the positive feelings, which are the opposites of those negative beliefs that you identified in that digging process. And then creator's perspective and definition for anything that's positive that you're downloading. So whether it's joy, happiness, love, abundance, success, whatever it may be, downloading creator's perspective on those is really important. And then you're going to find that using Theta Healing in your day-to-day life becomes really easy. The more simple you keep it, the more amazing the results are going to be for you. So allow yourself to know that it is a simple process that you can follow and that you can achieve amazing things in your own life. So if you like this video, like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you'll be notified of upcoming videos when we post them. And also share this video with your friends. Share this video with people that you know can benefit from it. So thank you for your time. And in the next video, I'll actually give you some downloads in relation to working on yourself. Thank you.